Scorpio, you will not be controlled. Not by a person, not by an influence, not by an energy trying to get into your field. You just won't be controlled. A project that you have, a relationship, and it feels like you're taking this position or stance. Like if you want to try to redefine me and what means a lot to me, my passion, the way I deliver my energy, the way that I share who I am, the things I'm interested in, the way I investigate something, if you want to try to control it, or I'm even hearing contaminate it, then I'm just going to destroy the whole thing. And that's the card that I got for you, Scorpio, the Destroyer. And it feels like you. It feels as though you're saying to someone, it's going to be my vision, my way, my thoughts, my authenticity. I'm going to be true to my spirit, my soul, my heart, or it's nothing at all. I'm not compromising. I'm not going to shapeshift and mold into something that you think is more digestible, palatable, acceptable. I'm not doing it. So I don't know what area of life this is coming up for you, but the energy is pretty strong. And for some of you, I feel like this is just on the cusp. It's like the ball is rolling and you're starting to see like, wait a second, I'm not going to shift in that way. I'm not going to start agreeing with this, or I'm not going to do this thing just to fit in. It feels like, typically you're a little bit more fluid. You always stay true to who you are and your values, but you don't always express that outright, is what I'm feeling with whoever I'm connecting to today. It's like you kind of sit back quietly and you're like, all right, I see what's going on here. I'm not going to play with this. I'm not going to play that role they want me to play, but I'll just sit back and watch. But this time it's like, I'm just going to destroy it if you try to mess with this. So Scorpio, we're going to get in further and see what else Spirit wants to say, but I was going to get a couple cards out first and just work with the energy, but this card came in so strongly that I felt so guided to just turn on the camera and start telling you what I was feeling. And that's the energy. It's like you're not holding back with something, okay? There's a very assertive energy I'm feeling. Okay, so let's get in further and see what else is going on here for you, Scorpio. What is this all about for Scorpio's spirit and soul for their highest good? What is this Destroyer energy all about? I got conjunction, merge your whole self. Yeah, and that's kind of what I was feeling with you formerly, sitting back and being like, I'll just, that piece of me that wants to stand up and say, enough is enough. Forget this. I'm done. It's over. It's like you've built up something amazing. Somebody comes in and starts critiquing it. Oh, I don't like this. And I'm seeing a painting. I don't like what you did there. And you just light it on fire and you're like, all right, well, then you can't see it at all. It's really interesting energy. And it's not upsetting. I don't feel like this upsets you. It's kind of like as if someone's challenging you. And they don't realize it is a little bit of an all or nothing feeling I'm getting from you, but the power is in your hands. It's like somebody doesn't realize that what they're trying to change about you or something that you're doing or creating, it's like you're just going to take it all away. Somebody oversteps, it feels like. And so merge your whole self is like you're bringing that part of yourself into the room, to be seen. And saying, I'm not going to keep that part of myself quiet that usually just sits back and lives in my head. And, I dialogue with myself about what's going on. I'm actually going to just do something about this. I hope this is making sense. Let's go in further and see what else we get for you, Scorpio. What is this all about for Scorpio? So far, I feel like the message, I don't know what the guidance is yet. We're going to get more tarot out and see. But Spirit's really showing me your conviction around something and that you control the narrative, the situation, the experience. This is something that belongs to you. Whether these are your thoughts, your emotions, your artwork, your creative project, your work ideas, your business, your investment, like this belongs to you. And so you get to create it and destroy it whenever you want. Some of you are going to be like this with yourself. There's a part of you that's saying, that's not good enough. I don't like it. And you just rip up the whole thing and start again. And I feel like that might not be necessarily a terrible idea here, because the ideas and the energy that's worth keeping will always be there as part of the essence of whatever you're doing. But something else maybe needs to shift and change. Some of you are going to destroy a friendship or a relationship intentionally, though. It's because there's an aspect of yourself that isn't being accepted in it. So let's see. What is this all about for Scorpio? Queen of Fire. Ooh, yeah. Burn it all down, right? You don't like how I'm showing up? Well, you can't have any of me then. So you're really activating Mars, wherever Mars is in your chart. There's something that you've been holding back, and now you are not afraid to unleash it. This part of you that refuses to acclimate to somebody else's comfortability. It's like somebody else wants to be comfortable in your energy, but they're not, so they're asking you to shift something. Okay, I feel like there's more to this that I'm definitely not getting yet. Let's see the energy that is supporting you, Scorpio. Some of you have a habit or something you're doing and it's just not working for you. You're going to take it right off your agenda, right off your planner. You're going to scratch something out. Something on your to-do list doesn't need your attention, and it's like taking up too much energy. So you're just going to rub it out, I'm hearing. You're going to erase it. Okay. Endings, Death card, which is your card, and leaving home with the Four of Wands and moving on. So we have the Four of Wands in reverse, the Five of Cups in reverse, and death. Wow. Yeah. See, this is certainty. This is after a grieving period. This is after the mental turmoil. This is after sitting back and observing. And this is taking action. I'm bringing an end to something. I'm leaving this all behind. Even though I've worked hard to build some kind of stability here or build something up or present an idea, I'm just going to leave it all behind and move on with what matters to me, with my idea, with my presentation, with my love, with my heart. Apply it as it resonates. It's the image I'm getting, and it doesn't have to be this for all of you, and it's probably not. It's just the example that Spirit's showing me for me to understand the energy. It's like sitting at a big boardroom, and you come in and you pitch an idea, and the head honcho who's going to give you all the funding is like, you know what, Scorpio, that's a pretty good idea, but how about you change this part of it, and how about we sell off this part of your company, and then you could do something else over there, and like before you know it, it doesn't even sound like your idea anymore. They've just kind of cherry picked the pieces that they like. And you're sitting there like, what is this? This isn't even my idea anymore. And you say, you know what? You can't have any of it. I'm gone. I'm going to take my idea somewhere else. That's the energy I'm feeling. Death, leaving home, moving on. Now, of course, for some of you, this could be literal. You're changing homes, you're changing place, or it could be at work. You're moving on from something. And it's because you don't see a future here. You don't see... Or maybe you do see the possibility for transformation, but you just don't want to put the energy in. Okay? There's something about your whole self. Merge your whole self. Let me get a little bit more on that. Merge your whole self. What is this? Third eye chakra. Expand your perception. Sacral chakra. Follow your desires. Let's get one more. For some of you, you feel like you can't grow anymore somewhere. You've just like hit the pinnacle of something, and you have, aim for gold, the sun. And you have way more. I'm hearing bootstrap. Maybe you've bootstrapped something. This is important to you. Your potential, your growth, your ability to do more, to be more, to experience more, to feel more. And there's some boardroom situation, whether it's in a relationship or elsewhere, where you're like, you know what? This ain't doing it for me. I'm going to try to find out why it's not doing it for you, but you're definitely certain. The energy supporting you is certainty. Okay, so if you're having trouble making this decision or moving on from something, Spirit's saying tap into those deep reserves you have of conviction and certainty. Okay, Death card, it's done. Okay, you have change written on the Death card and transition with uncertainty and leaving home and inhibition and forgiveness. Some of you might begin to see something from the past as a possibility now. I don't know what that is, but it's like you start thinking, maybe the grass isn't greener over here, or maybe this isn't really where I belong or where I fit in, or even what I want. So some of you might return to something that offers more growth. Okay, let's see the challenging energy for Scorpio. The challenge. We have Page of Cups with curiosity written on it and Page of Swords with ambition written on it. I'm going to get one more, and it says restless here on the Page of Swords and possibility with the Page of Cups, but also irresponsibility. Okay, give me one more. With born leader, king of matches. It's either that you're getting treated like a page, okay, like somebody who's a novice or someone who could be shaped and molded. I keep getting this feeling like someone wants to shapeshift you, okay, mold you into something that works for them. Could be a collective of people. I'm not sure what it is for everyone. Or you're surrounded by pages, okay, people who don't have the same vision as you. These could be people who take things, ideas, skills from other people, kind of wrap them all together and present them as their own. You know, I just watched something pretty interesting about someone who has a big presence on YouTube. I'm not going to get into all who that is because it's not important. But they were doing like a side interview on a small channel, really small views, like not a lot of people have seen it. And they said some things that actually kind of revealed their intentions quite a bit. And I found that really interesting. So somebody could reveal to you the ways in which they've crafted a particular persona or image that they then present as authentic. Okay. And while this person might not have a problem doing that, they might see that as a fine strategy, and that's good for them. That works out for their karma. It's all good. But for you, you realize like, that's not who I am. That's not what I'm doing. Do I really want to be around this? Okay. So you are a born leader, or there's someone around you who's presenting themselves as a king of wands, a born leader. But really, they're more in the page energy. Page of Swords, taking ideas, taking bits and bobs of your ideas maybe, or your energy. For some of you, you could be this very specific and kind of like a side note. Some of you are having trouble with younger siblings or children. Okay, you're ready to just throw in the towel. What do you want to say about that? The Tower in reverse, resisting change. You just need to make a change. You don't need to make a whole tower moment. Okay, that's very specific for someone. If it is about that, the children or the younger people need a better leader. Okay, and that could be you. You need to show up as your whole self for whatever this is. Okay, but for the majority of you, some of the challenge here too is your own curiosity around where something could go. Am I ending something too soon? Am I being too brash, maybe too abrasive, maybe too demanding? And you're kind of vacillating about what you want to do. But interesting. I don't know if you heard that. It's a weird noise. But it's probably a cat. Interesting that this is a message. Hold on, let me get back to that, Spirit. But you know, whatever this is that you're wondering about the future doesn't align with your vision and intent. Maybe somebody tries to catch your attention. They say something subtle and you're kind of trying to figure out, like, what did that mean? What is that? Is there promise here? Are you saying things could improve? But then you realize, it's probably not anything new. It's probably something that I've seen or heard before, okay? So Scorpio, I would say that you've made up your mind, okay? You could also, if this is about a relationship with someone, because I'm seeing the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands, not gender specific, but it might be the case that somebody isn't showing up as the leader that you know they are, or they're not investing in the shared vision. And I'd say you're about ready to make a big move on this, make a big decision around what you will put up with and what you won't. Okay, so let's see. Scorpio. What's going on here? Let's get more specific, clear, Spirit. What's going on for Scorpios? Or whoever's watching. Wherever your Scorpio placement is, the Tower, the Destroyer. Okay. That's your overall energy. See? You are the Destroyer. I want to tell you, Scorpio, you're not wrong. Okay? You've woken up to something. And I would say that you feel pretty empowered. And it feels to me that Spirit is, yes, Ace of Wands, Spirit is supporting this decision of yours. Okay, it's bold. King of Wands again at the bottom. What's up with the King of Wands? Five of Pentacles and this Five of Wands. You see what I'm saying? Something didn't really turn out all that great. There's conflict, there's battle, there's a clash. That's leading to some kind of impoverished energy. Okay, something might feel a little rotten at the core. It's also reminding me like kind of a black hole. It's like your energy could be feeling like it's getting sucked into something else to feed somebody else's success. I'm hearing back door. I don't know what that's about, but it's reminding me like of a back door in computer software programming. Maybe maybe it's like someone is programming a metaphorical back door to get into your energy whenever they want. And you're just going to erase the whole program. You're going to destroy the whole thing rather than allow them to go in there. That's what it feels like. So I don't know who the King of Wands is for everyone here. It could be, again, an aspect of yourself or someone else. But the Tower is your overall energy. Mars. Yes, you're working with your Mars energy. You're definitely ready to destroy something. So let's see. Can I get a little bit more here on why Scorpio's in the Tower energy? And I don't feel like the Tower's happening to you. Maybe you do feel like that, but you're actually creating it. And I feel, again, this is like on the path. It feels very guided with the cards I'm seeing here and just the overall like certainty of it all. Ace of Cups, yes, it's to release new energy and fresh energy. This cup is what's been hiding in the corner when you're looking at it and you're in that room of people and you're like, yeah, okay, whatever, bro. You know, like you're looking around and you're like unsettled by something and you can't present this cup or you can't bring out your own cup and drink from it because it's not the right place or environment or the energy is just not conducive, supportive. And so with merge your whole self, it's like Spirit saying, you need to be somewhere else where you can do this. So whatever tower is happening, whatever is coming down, crumbling down, Spirit is doing it so that this Ace of Cups, this fresh energy can be released and enjoyed by you. It's like you've been holding something back because you knew someone would do something sketchy with it. Maybe a feeling, a thought, a form of communication that you were thinking about. Or maybe it is a creative idea of yours. A strategy even, but you've been kind of keeping it close to your chest, even though you want to release it. You want it to go out into the world. You want to experience this part of yourself out in the open. Maybe a more playful approach you want to take in life, but there's nothing but conflict around or immature energy. So you're not allowing that to happen. Okay? So yes, this is a wise choice. Now, this is a general reading. You always have to trust your own intuition. But what I'm seeing here in the cards is a very wise choice. Charity, offer your gifts. Because whatever this Ace of Cups is that you want to release, it is like a gift of yours. And you do want to make this offering, but not in this environment. Okay? And I think with that boardroom image I was getting, you have offered gifts before, but they weren't attributed. For some of you, this is also very specific. I'm just getting it. You were in. This is not for all of you. Okay, don't take it if it doesn't resonate. In some kind of relationship, and the person started acting like you. Okay, like mirroring you, like trying to be you in a way, but not acknowledging that those parts of themselves that they were then expressing as authentic was actually you. You know, you ever been in a relationship like that? Well, where suddenly someone has very similar hobbies as you, or they start to change their lifestyle to align with yours. And then later on, they have something to say about your lifestyle that they've already co-opted for themselves. It feels like something like that. Okay. It's immature. Okay. It could even be in a workplace. So what you don't see coming is the Queen of Cups. And here's the little bit of that mirroring happening. But the Queen of Cups is about self-care, about loving all aspects of yourself. Merge your whole self, your shadow and your light, you know, your subconscious mind and your conscious mind, taking care of all of that and allowing all of that to be part of this Ace of Cups that wants to be released into the world. So let's see. Tell me about this Queen of Cups. The Emperor and the Sun. Yes, Scorpio. Working with your Mars energy, you say, you know what? I'm not going to sideline this part of who I am or what I'm doing. I'm going to run with it all. All parts belong or nothing. You get nothing at all. Okay? And when you take all of that for yourself and leave nothing behind, then you grow. I hope this is making sense. It's like, again, I'm sorry if this doesn't resonate, but whatever. At the boardroom, right? It's like you've laid out all your plans and people are looking over the papers and they're like, oh yeah, they're writing down notes about things. But again, they're not taking it as a whole, or they're not going to give you credit. And you just take all the papers, including their notes, and you take it all for yourself and you smush it all up. Or you throw it in the garbage can and you light it on fire, or you rip it all up and you say, later, I'm out of here, and they have nothing. That's what I mean. Okay, this is what you don't see coming. This is massive potential growth. This is being a born leader, way more than the King of Wands could ever strive to be. Okay, this is having fortitude, conviction, certainty, and faith in your ability to steer your own ship. Okay, you're not going down with a ship. You're not going to be the one that has to dive deep into the ocean to anchor someone else's ship. No. Okay, you're steering the ship. That's what you don't see coming. And how does this happen? It happens by loving all parts of yourself and bringing those hidden parts, aspects, whether you've knowingly been keeping them close to your chest or whether it's kind of more in the subconscious background, but allowing them to come up to the surface and be part of that future potential you're building for yourself. Accept me as I am and who I am becoming, as I want to be becoming. Or don't have me at all. Okay? I like it. Okay. So the opportunity for you is justice. This is karmic justice for you. This is balance for you. I'm hearing it's taking a step back from going off the rails and throwing yourself out of balance. The action that you take might seem extreme to others, whether that's like you abruptly leave home, you abruptly quit a job, you destroy something here with the Tower and the Destroyer by your own hand, the Queen of Fire. But for you, it's actually putting you back into a place of balance. Because if you kept going along with something until someone else destroyed it, then you'd be falling right off. One of these scales would be way heavier than the other, pulling you down. Okay, so this is your opportunity for justice, for balance. The Hangman. To take action on all those observations that you've had about what's been going on, to do something about it. The Hangman can be a wonderful position and a very painful position to be in simultaneously. So on one hand, you're gaining higher wisdom. You understand the process of something and how something is working, and you see things different than others. But it's also painful because you're on the outs. You're on the outskirts. People are not really jiving with you. They don't understand you. You have to take a step back. This is a card of individuating from the collective mentality. Or, maybe you're in a relationship and suddenly you have a different idea of like what you want your life to be. And somebody else is like, Scorpio, no, we're going to do this. And that's who you're going to be. You're not going to be this other part of you that you want to be. So you have to take a step back. And so Spirit's saying this now, this leaving home, moving on, whether that's a metaphor or literal, is your justice. You're taking the hard lessons you've learned by observing, by gaining a new perspective, and bringing yourself back into balance. Okay. You're also preserving a particular dream you have for yourself. You're not giving up on a dream. Okay, Knight of Cups for your challenge. This to me feels like a little bit of hesitancy. It feels like a little bit of melancholy. You've gotten off that ship. You're not going to steer someone else's ship. But you're sitting on this rock in the middle of the ocean, like, where do I go next? I'm seeing that ship sail away because I've jumped off of it. I said no more to that. But now where do I go? And I feel like I'm seeing this figure here turn around and face the other direction, which on the table looks back to everything we just talked about. You have to reflect that when you get in this moment of like, maybe I made the wrong decision, or now it's kind of sad that I don't have that, or I really wished it would have been this way. When you get into those and those feelings are fine, they're normal, okay? Spirit is saying to balance those heavier emotions by looking at the justice that you're getting, by remembering all that you've seen, by being excited about your future potential and all the doors you're going to unlock, by being able to bring out those different parts of yourself that are kind of like fun, okay, that haven't been able to come out to play in a long while. That's what you're doing all this for. So remember that. Knight of Cups, the challenge. Tell me a little bit more for the Knight of Cups as the challenge. You may feel like you're taking a downgrade at some level. You're not. It's just a turn of events. Okay, Four of Swords and the Knight of Cups. Yeah, this is a little bit of like pausing on the action, pausing on the energy. I've destroyed it all, and now I'm just going to sit here and look at the rubble. Four of Swords is a card of peace, rest, focused thoughts. But it looks very melancholy to me. It's almost like these thoughts are blocking a portal or a pathway. So Spirit, what's going on here? Tell me more about this challenge for Scorpio. Nine of Swords, hopelessness. Yes, that is what it feels like. Anxiety. Yeah, look, he's got the same stature and position as this guy. Okay, so tell me about the Four of Swords. What is it? You could be worried that you're not going to bounce back, that you've passed your prime, I'm hearing. Weakness, strength in reverse, helplessness. Again, hopelessness and helplessness. Insecurity. Okay. Well, Scorpio, what I want to tell you is I feel this intensely, that you have made the right decision, and it's a difficult one, but you are definitely standing up for something that you care about, yourself or something you've created. And these feelings after the fact, this feels like feelings after the fact, not before you do it, but after, of like, I don't know if that was the best thing, because now look, it's been a couple months or it's been a couple weeks and I don't know if I should have done that. That's part of the ebb and flow of this energy. When I made a massive life choice, and it was a destroyer energy and it was a tower energy, and I rained down hell on everything, okay? Like I just said, I'm not doing this anymore. And I changed my whole life. There were months where I was like, what did I do? What did I do? This is a terrible decision, or I don't know where I'm going next. I feel hopeless. I feel weak. I feel helpless. But through that energy, I did regain my strength, and I came back a lot stronger than I was before, and it was not a mistake. But these initial feelings of like, oh, or whoa, now what, are just part of the process. So be kind to yourself when these come up, because they are just thoughts with the Nine of Swords. It's not a reality. It's not like, yeah, you did screw up, Scorpio. That's not what I'm seeing here at all. At all. There is a little bit of pain here before the gain, but it's all mental. Okay, and some of you might be having nightmares about the decisions you're making. Okay, so you have some fears in your subconscious mind. Good that they're coming to the surface for you to see and understand and analyze. Okay? So don't worry about this period. We all go through it. Most of us, anyways. And sometimes when we have these big life changes and we come to this point and we destroy something and there's a tower and we just move on like everything's fine and dandy, we miss the whole growth spurt. We miss the whole lesson of it all. We need to have that lull, that valley, to understand how hard we've worked for the next peak that's up ahead. Okay? So your advice is judgment, with this big, beautiful Pluto symbol in this eclipse. See, Pluto is about transformation and control, and it's also one of your ruling planets, if you still want to consider it a planet, which I do. But see, it's being eclipsed by some of these worries and these fears that you've taken back control over something in an act of self-love and transformation. Transformative self-love. This was the act that you took to when you destroy something. It was an act of transformative self-love. Okay, and the advice is to remember that. And yes, that is that knowledge that you have, that's why you did what you did, or why you're making the decision you're making, is there. But sometimes it's going to get eclipsed by other emotions, worries, fears. But it doesn't erase the core reason why you chose your path. Okay? And you did choose this path smartly. Hangman, it didn't come from nowhere. You spent a lot of time thinking about this. This isn't a rash decision or brash decision. Some of you might get a rash or something itchy. Lavender. Okay, maybe it's a spider bite. I don't know. Okay, but don't worry about it. It's not that bad. It's okay. It's just a reaction. You're just having a reaction. Okay. I don't know what that's all about. Okay. So let's see. More for your advice, Scorpio. I feel very hesitant on taking this card, but let's see why that is. The Hermit. Yeah. Very hesitant about going to the desert and being the Hermit. Yes. Now that you've flipped the table at the board meeting, you're all alone. Okay. Hesitation about that, for sure. But I'll tell you something, Scorpio. It's going to be a lot harder to try to mess with you or take from you again. This is coming out in your advice, the Hermit and Judgment. This is to understand what a big power move, spiritually powerful, the move you made is. Like, realize that. Take a moment to congratulate yourself on your inner journey that you've taken action on outwardly too. Or you will. Anything else for advice? Spend some time with yourself. Envision the transformation that you want. Change of plans. Six of Swords in reverse. And oppression with the King of Swords in reverse. That's what you've changed. I'm not going to be oppressed anymore by this. Change of plans, bucko. I'm hearing the name Susan. I don't know. Take it or leave it. But change of plans. I'm not going to be trapped anymore in these oppressive thoughts, in these judgmental circumstances, in these depreciating relationships. I'm not going to be stuck here anymore. I'm making a massive shift in a plan to change for myself. And yeah, that's going to require a little bit of a rough spot for me. But I think this little rough spot is a lot better than the oppression that you would experience had you just stayed with something that was making you weaker and weaker, or feel weaker and weaker. Okay, so your outcome, Scorpio. I'm also going to do an extended reading. In the extended, we're going to go a layer deeper. We're going to see what else Spirit has to say about this. I'm excited. It tends to get more specific. There's less of you there. Link is in the description box below. If you don't want to come to that, don't like that idea, then you got your reading. The whole reading. It's a complete reading. Trust Spirit knew that. Okay? Only go to the extended if you're guided, and if you can. The outcome for you is the Ace of Wands. See, that's what happens when you don't give up on yourself. Queen of Wands, Ace of Wands. New light, new passion, you're reinvigorated here. You have a spark. There's an idea. There's a energy emanating from you that feels like you're alive again. I'm hearing and that you're listened to. Okay, so tell me more about this Ace of Wands for the outcome. Beautiful outcome. 2015 might be an important year for someone. 10 of Pentacles, that's what you're creating with the Ace of Wands? Look at you, you're no longer this, where is this? Sad bear over here. Is that a bear? I think it's a bear. Worrying, and the 9 of Swords. You're in the 10 of Pentacles. I'm glad I did this for myself, is what you're saying to me in the future. I'm glad I did this. All I needed was that one moment where I said, that's it, enough. I have the spark, I have the passion, I have the power, I have the will to recreate with my own magic what I truly want for myself. This is you in the future. Ace of Wands, 10 of Pentacles, and I can do it again and again and again. I'm worth more than this stuff that's keeping me down. That's what you're saying. Now and in the future, you're going to say, see, told you so. All right. That's what I have for you, Scorpio. I hope that helped. I love you so much. I'll see you next time.